What do you want to be for Halloween? Oh, come on.
I would love to be like a cross between Eric Draven and also Blade.
Oh, that's a good one too. That's so
How
sick.
about you? Who would you be for Halloween?
I'd be Eric Draven every day for the rest of my life.
Sick.
Um, you know,
That's so awesome. So I've got to ask you about that awesome EP you dropped, 5 songs, and I'm greedy because I want more music. So when can we expect an album?
we're not really supposed to say anything at all. The concept of soul and teeth is it's not about us. It's not about what's even happening in the future or the past. It's what's happening right now. But I think we should make this interview very, very special. And off the rip, I'm gonna say you will be the first one to actually on video hear say this through the words of Megaa is 100%. And in documentation, this will be our confirmation that we have in the works something coming up where more frequencies can just be let out, and that's what I'm officially here to say is yeah, we have music coming out. It's a process, right? The concept of music for what everybody hears is not really what we are just going to say, oh, this is what everybody wants to hear, let's play this. It has to come from right here. I'll try to rip this open, but it has to come from right there. And from that form of art and being able to do that, you can't just, hey, this date, all right, let's gonna do it. It can't happen like that. It really has to happen from pure nothing but pure chaos of what's happening in here enough to just let this out. And that's what you hear on the EP, and I think that's what you're gonna hear for the whole lifespan of Soul and Teeth.
That's
So yeah, 100%. We have new music coming out. As far as when, I think our time on this life, we can't compare it to everyone else's. So stay tuned. Just keep throwing the horns down, snapping your necks with us, and I'm 100%. We're gonna keep playing. We're gonna be playing songs that aren't even released. If you come out to see us, we're gonna be doing things. You're gonna see things that you're just not gonna expect, and I think that's that's the beauty of this art that we're doing is you're not supposed to get it. You're actually supposed to feel really uncomfortable. You're actually supposed to feel like, you know what, this honestly right now I'm looking at you with my eye of that this most likely could be the last time anyone actually hears anything from Megaa.
wow.
100%. We don't know. It's not real. So I say this with every single thing that we do, and we say it's with the 100% passion of it's right now, and we're just embracing it at its fullest. So, and very, very thankful for anyone that is there to even intercept our frequencies being put out. So, yeah, I say that with heavy respect and all the love. So I think sometimes it could come across like, whoa, what is this dude saying? But it's coming from our heart.
Yeah. I mean, you touched on process because it's like you guys are so I don't know what the word is, so emotional and purposeful, and the song Empty really hit me, like honestly. And what's the process like when it comes to songwriting? Because you spoke about frequencies, and I really do get what you're saying because it's just so beautiful. But what's it like writing, like songwriting for Swollen Teeth?
I want to cry right now. I want to also laugh right now just to be able to tap into that. It's oh, what's it like writing? It's not for everyone, and I'll give a very, 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 very warm and just full of love shout out to the man Ross Robinson, who we've been working with, and also Sid Wilson. Um, they there's something to art where not everybody sees, not everyone can see it, of just being able to touch this line, and touching this line means that you are willing to get uncomfortable to let this out. And very much like the crow, very much like the eerie feeling that you get when I saw that movie. It is like on another level of it can never be recreated. It could just be expressed again and again and again, and it can't be recreated. So I think what the main feeling is appreciative when we're writing this process. And how do you get there? I think that's the love of the art is you can't even put it into words of how very much when like knowing when I write this song after when I'm done tracking this for the rest of my actual whole life, my DNA is going to be changed forever and I can never look back on it. You know, we're here to serve. It's a sacrifice. It's whatever is out there is not what's in here, and whatever's in here is gonna whatever's on the inside is gonna be on the outside as well. And to get there, hell of a journey. Sorry if that makes no sense or if it does, but
No,
yeah.
no, Mega, like, dude, honestly, that does make sense. You're like describing that in a way you're like a vessel and just the music just kind of comes through you, which is sick. Is that right in thinking that?
100%. 100%. This needs to be clear.
Yeah.
And then for this to be clear, to be standing on the pyramid, this can't be, how could I say it? Like there can't be an earthquake in here. It needs to be clear in order to let that out. And in order to let that out, to be for this to be clear, you need to be um willing to get uncomfortable. You need to be willing to get uncomfortable, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can tell from talking to you, it's really hard because sometimes you learn stuff about yourself, right? And you're like, I
Yes.
don't want to know about myself. But the process that you're describing is like you've got to understand yourself to get those messages through to create your craft, right?
Not for everyone, but
Yeah.
yes, I think it in our concept for sure. Um every single piece of art that my whole life personally have been attracted to have what I felt like is this the most genuine, and art is the same from a painting to a movie to music. It's all like, whoa, like parallel to a T the same, like the actual same. It's beyond us of why is it that when I look at that painting, I get the same feeling of when I saw that whole movie for the first time when I was a kid, or how anyone really hears like, anything of the process has been created with, and it's parallel, and it's the most wild thing to just be a part of for real, you know?
That's
Can't
awesome. You
Yeah.
speak about it so like beautifully as well. Like you touched on the Crow, and we're both like massive Crow fans. So I have to ask, when was the first time? Do you remember the first time you actually watched the Crow and what drew you to loving it so much?
Yeah. When you hear some songs, you get that energy. You feel it and you get it, and it's exactly that. There's no actual words can describe truly what is happening, which I call the obvious. You
Mm.
know, we call the obvious. There's the energy. There's things that you see in that movie that you just don't actually see happening to you when you watch it. It's just not for us to understand at all. Um, every single thing from I mean, let's go back from even the movie. You got the comics. Have you seen what they look like? How about this? I genuinely have not seen the comics, and I haven't really done my deep dive into it. And it was this week where I was like, "Oh shoot, let me just think. Oh, why is this so in tune with what we are doing?" It's not the same. I'm not sitting here like, oh, we're gonna bite every single thing we see. No, it's I'm gonna do what we want. And then in the future, when you see that thing happening so identical, you're like, oh, those are the frequencies.
Yeah.
Those are what this is coming out of. Not everyone can do that, and that's what I got when I saw the crow for the first time. It was the energy, the way he talks, the way the music behind the scenes. There's a little skateboarding involved. There's metal. There's rock and roll. There's headbanging. There's mosh pitting. There's violence. There's love. I mean, the list keeps going. There's almost every single thing, and that's when a lot of people when they hear "empty," you brought that up. It's like, let's make some sense of what's going on. It's like very like whoa, 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 whoa. This isn't this pure chaos. This is also loving as well behind it, and that's what exactly I felt like The Crow was. There was so much of just love, and so much of this pure hate, and so much of just aggression, and so much, so much. And I'll say this for the third time. So much of we don't really understand and we don't know, and the questions were not answered. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. It's also like The Crow is such a tragedy as well, but it's also much like you guys, it's rage, it's tragedy, but it's also beauty as well. And that's kind of like I get the parallels that you were talking about because Swollen Teeth has all those same kind of like aspects of The Crow, the tragedy, the rage, the beauty, like the eloquency when it comes to lyrics, like like the script in The Crow as well. Do you know what I mean? So I get the parallels that you're talking about. That's mad.
What's really crazier is when those connections happen. We are working with some really cool people, and this one person will be talking, and I'm like, oh, this is what we're bringing to the table, and then that guy goes, whoa, let me take this. Oh, this is exactly what you guys are doing. Have you ever heard of this? Never in our lives. That connection is like, oh, it's real. The obvious is real. They're not coincidences. They're not coincidences. We'll call it the obvious for now.
Oh yeah, there's no such thing as a coincidence. I fully stand by that. Like, have you heard about they're meant to be redoing The Crow next year? Have you heard about it?
I have,
Think.
I have, and if for any reason at all, anyone behind that movie right now is going to hear any of these words that I'm saying, just let go. Just let go. The only reason why they were able to make that movie as big and as impactful as it was to not just you and I, but the whole actual world that really got to intercept that movie is go big and know that it has to come from here to make that. There's no getting around it. And I think as we could see from everything that has been around the Crow since that one really big impactful moment, it's like needs to be real. And I have a lot of faith. I do have a lot of faith that they could channel that right now. 100%. I am beyond stoked as to, are you guys really ready to push the limits? Are you guys really ready to go there? Go there. Don't ever walk back. Don't look back at it once when you're there. Go there. Change your DNA. And I think only is to then when truly we can say it's been revived.
Yeah. Yeah.
So stoked. Beyond stoked. Who's behind it right now? Beyond stoked. I think I have no doubt in the world that they also understand. They also could touch the line that we were talking about earlier. They also could get there. I mean, let's look at like modern times what the most impactful movies are. That Joker movie, and you'll talk about him just checking that, and they're talking after of, hey, that's not supposed to be scripted. That wasn't in the script. I just see that video of that guy talking. Oh, he wasn't supposed to punch this. He just said, "I saw that," and I didn't even have to. I didn't have to hear that. I already knew that. You sensed that from, and look where that movie is and where it landed and how much of an impact that had on a lot of people. You know, thus being myself, thus being the same energy of of what the Crow did for us. Man, go big. Yeah, I'm stoked. How about you? Have you done your deep dive in research and are you excited about the new Crow?
I'm so excited. Much like you, I have faith it's going to be good. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be that type of person that's like, oh, they're going to mess it up. It's going to be rubbish. Like, I'm being positive. I'm being positive. It's like the new Blade. It better be good. I'm being positive. I'm being positive. It will be good.
Yeah. After seeing that movie, I could really just I should be wanting to do that, right?
Yeah.
Right when that that's the feeling that I'm gonna get or that I'm gonna be chasing to get. You know, it's the art.
Yeah.
Welcome to our world.
I've got to ask as well. I like asking bands this because I think it's really interesting. Like, if Swollen Teeth could be on any horror movie soundtrack, which horror film do you reckon it would be?
I think would you would you consider The Crow horror? Because I kind of see that more of horror, but obviously, without a doubt, when you see The Crow and you hear and then you hear our music, I think it's parallel. Obviously, The Crow,
Yeah.
100%. You know, anyone tuning in that has anything to do with that movie, um, let us at least pull up and get inspiration.
For real. Yeah.
Whatever it is, yeah. Uh, have to be The Crow for personally me. But genuinely, the real answer I think for all of us is whoever we talk to, whatever this cross paths with, and whatever we do needs to be from here, and it can't be. So how about this? Not even a specific movie. It there's just it, the obvious, you know. They whoever it is, whatever it is, if it's coming from here, I'm not even talking about the high ups. I'm not worried about all that. I'm not worried about no clout, fame, whatever they're calling it on this earth. I'm not really worried about that at all. What I'm worried about is if it's coming from here and if they are able to also believe in believe in this process of it's not about us. We're just here to serve, you know? If you're willing to let go and if you're willing to get there 100%, I'd say any movie that really, I mean, and you don't even need to prove anything. You just you cross paths with it.
Yeah.
We just crossed paths with some friends from this festival we played last weekend. The second you saw them, oh, okay, you get it, you know? So
That's awesome. Just
that's the
like,
real.
yeah, putting those positive vibes out there and just like the attraction, just attracting the right thing at the right time is always like, yeah, that's how I live my life anyway. I'm just like, you know what? If we're meant to be in a horror film, the right one will come and it will be awesome. That's the positivity, right?
That's it, 100%. That is, you know, do things with heart and meaning. Don't just don't just be on a grid. Don't go to try to chase perfectness. Don't try to perfect. Don't try to chase to be perfect. I don't know if perfectness is a word on this earth, but don't go. Don't listen to what you're told to express this. You can't listen to the rhythm. Play your own rhythm. Don't when you're gonna perform it, really perform it. Let it be real, and that's within the movie itself. That's within art. Just being able to paint a picture. You know, don't don't let don't be on any grid.
Yeah.
Get off the grid. Get uncomfortable. Don't chase to be perfect. I'm not throwing shade, and I'm not calling anyone out that does chase to be perfect and that does have the the perfect cookie cutter productions and anything they do, but that's for them, and that's totally respectful with heavy respect to anyone doing any sort of art. It's supposed to respect it. Um, but for us, don't go chasing what is the grid. It's not
Yeah.
worth it. It's not
Dude,
worth it. It
if
will. It won't be this. Sorry, I'll let you finish. Sorry.
no, sorry, dude. Sorry. So I was just gonna say that was such a cool thing to say because if I believe if you're chasing perfection, you're gonna be chasing it forever because there's no such thing. There's no such thing. What is perfection? It doesn't
It
exist.
doesn't exist.
No, not at all. But I wanted to ask you about Car Crash, the music video. That's like a mini horror film. So, what was the process of making that video? And did you feel like it was a mini horror film when you were actually making it and recording it?
Yeah, car crash. I mean, it very much is a horror film. Maybe not to be released right now or for anyone's eyes to see, but and not to even predict our future. But yeah, those are scenes that really much. Um, it's the obvious. It aligned up. It's let's go out there and give. let's give. Let's give, and not for anyone specific. Let's just give. Let's just give. We're here to do this. That process was awesome. Shout out Henry. That's all I'm gonna say. Shout out Henry. Shout out Sid. Shout out every single person behind that video. The process was awesome. It was little do people know. It's like it was raining and our equipment was getting. We don't have much. Let's just keep rolling. Let's just keep doing it. Our gears getting all messed up, and it's just the obvious. It worked out how it was supposed to. No, no BS, no scripts, just whatever happens to capture it. And really, really cool process for sure. And that car crash was real.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
W.
Well, my last question, last one from me is if you had to suggest a horror film for people to go out and watch for Halloween or me, every day it's Halloween. So if you had to suggest a film for people to go and check out, which one would it be?
Ah, horror. We're talking like horror, horror, horror. Like,
If you want.
how horror does horror get? I mean, any any movie where you see Jason just standing there,
Yeah.
it's like, go chase it. I really, really, really shout out Zombie Devil's Rejects. While I was growing up, also like The Crow, did things to Mega's life that you can't put into words and you can't chase and you can't really explain. But The Devil's Rejects, whether that's horror or whatever you call it, I think it's definitely one. Saw is definitely one, and don't know if this goes back to the horror, but Final Destination. Shout out Final Destination. And shout out to the Mudvayne camp. They had that. I mean, people. It's not about what people are supposed to think that movie Ghost Ship. When I heard the Mudvayne soundtrack over that, I know. When I heard that movie, when I saw that movie and heard the music aligned to it, there's, everyone says whatever they want to say. Saint Anger was sick is a sick song. Whatever it is, it very much is. Just those four movies. I think that you could go out and watch right now. It's pretty pretty impactful as to what it did for Mega.
Those are some sick recommendations. Like the start of Ghost Ship with that what I don't want to wreck it, like if anyone's watching this, but with the freaking sick. Oh my gosh. Oh
Get it?
yeah.
It's not for everyone to get. There's going to be a lot of people, especially everything that I just talked about. There are going to be a lot of people that don't get it, and we understand. Coming from here, understands. It's just know to everyone that doesn't get it. It's not meant for you to be comfortable, and I don't think these movies are meant for you to be comfortable. With that being said, much love to any single art, any single person really trying to, even if they choose to say whatever they want to say about anyone else, just keep doing it. Don't give up and just make it from here. Express yourself because any art, I promise, we just named some of the most controversial songs and movies of in our whole lifetime. And, you know, here we are talking about it and expressing and showing love and value to that. So, you
100.
know, with heavy respect to every single person creating art that's here to serve. Let it come from here, you know.
Nah, you're awesome. Thank you so much, Meg. I really appreciate the chat. I really enjoyed that. Like half of the video, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, Amelia, right?
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully I'll meet you in person one day.
Let's cross paths for sure.
Hell yeah.
Staying tuned for whatever's in the future. We have no absolute idea, and with heavy respect.